Hello, hello, and welcome back for more expert strategy and taut, no-nonsense insertion tactics as the All-Stars and I prepare to invade the Codex facility in Perfidious Pete Plays XCOM 2. Yeah, some of you out there spitting at your monitors right now. Pete, you're so terrible. Yeah, it's so awful. And yeah, you're not wrong. I was lying a little bit. Although, it wasn't really a lie. It was sarcasm, really, mixed with a little self-deprecation. I said something that was untrue for the sake of humor, because we both know high-level strategy and tactics are not why anybody's watching this video. I'm not particularly good at XCOM. If I had to actually come up with a truthful analogy for my level of strategy and tactics, I'd say that it's like watching somebody wander into a minefield. In that I have no idea what I'm into until the first explosion goes off, and then I spend the rest of my time trying not to die, while my body gets flung, bouncing through the air from explosion to explosion, like that super bald little Timmy Mitchell smuggled to the top of the Empire State Building and threw from the observation deck on your 4th grade field trip to New York City. That's the way I play the game. And then I spend the rest of my time, after the explosions stop and the smoke clears, trying to figure out a way to glue the face back onto the charred wreckage of my body, and then subsequently also trying to find a way to laugh at what I see in the mirror when the bandages come off, like Jack Nicholson in 1989 Batman. That's how I play the game. Is that a little long for an introduction sentence, though, for a video? Yeah, probably a little long. So I just went with the self-deprecation because it's sort of my default mode. Anyway, let's get out of the metagame, and that's enough exposure to the interior of my headspace. It's probably not a place you want to spend a lot of time. I don't like spending time there, and I'm stuck with it. I have to endure. You don't have to. Let's do a little base maintenance, shall we? We've got a couple empty rooms here. We're not doing anything with them, and we sort of can't do anything with them. We also have 1,600 supplies. I really feel like we should get rid of some of this stuff, so I'm going to. The reason I'm going to do that, well, one thing, we could upgrade a Psi Lab. Do we want to build a second cell? At this point, are we going to have enough time to train? You know what? Nah, it's not worth the power. We're not going to have enough time to train another Psi Trooper. It's Atlas King or nothing at this point. Am I going to build another laboratory? Yes, I am going to build another laboratory. For one specific reason, we do still have, well, one, we have idle engineers who need something to do, and two, we do have quite a bit of research left to do, and while this is not a fantastic use of our time, it will speed things in the Shadow Chamber along a little bit. And secondly, there is an achievement for building something in every single slot on the Avenger, and in my last playthrough, I didn't bother to do that, so I didn't get the achievement. This time, I want the achievement. Hey, am I above achievement whoring? No, I am not above achievement whoring. You want to watch me get out there, put on my fishnets, and be like, hey boys, you want a little bit of my good stuff? Give me some achievements and I'll give you what you need. I'm not above it. What else should we do? We've still got 1,400 supplies. Is there anything we can do in the GTS facility? Seems like there might have been some upgrades we hadn't purchased yet. Combat tactics. Vengeance and stay with, squad size 2. Pretty sure I bought that one already. That's fine. Vengeance, stay with me. To hell with it. Seems respectable. Let's go with that. What else can we spend money on? Anything at all? Anything, literally anything. Is there anything we want to build or buy down in engineering? Lily, what do you got on the table for me here? I could build a smoke bomb, which I don't think in any of our playthroughs I've ever used. The EMP bomb, it's interesting, but I'm never going to build one. It does huge damage to robots and mechanical targets, but how often are we running into a bunch of robots that we want to control, as opposed to or that we don't want to control? Usually when we run into a bunch of robots, we just hijack one. Do I want them to take massive damage before I hijack them? No, I kind of don't. Is Mind Shield useful? Not at all. Overdrive Serum is at least intriguing. What does it do? Significant damage resistance, greater mobility and damage resistance. It just doesn't seem worth, like. Here's my problem. We should probably build fusion blades because there's no reason to not. We still need 2 gatekeeper shells, which we're having trouble coming up with. Every time we run into a gatekeeper, it's on a mission we have to extract from. We do kind of need the alien Psyamp, too. So it's on the list, but we're sort of stymied in that respect. I could build another suit of this just to be mean to the troopers and be like, oh, you don't. I do like to have something that I can threaten them with. I'll make you wear the serpent suit onto the field of battle. Don't think I won't do it. It's basically my timeout suit at this point. It's like giving my troopers a timeout. When they do something wrong, I put them in a super suit, make them sit in a corner for a little while. Let's get to scanning then. We've got all our base maintenance items done. Stray dogs. So this is what it's come down to, huh, Bradford? You're sending me out to investigate packs of stray dogs? What, do they have somebody's ham? Why am I doing this? Give me it. Look at it. Look at that dog. He's got somebody's ham. Give me that ham, you stupid dog. I have to assume that's what we're actually doing. Bradford's like, Pete, there's a dog out there that's got a ham. You got to take 7 days and go get the ham from the dog. No, Bradford, I'm not going to spend a week trying to take ham from a hungry dog. You know what? Let the dog enjoy its ham. What did it ever do to you, Bradford? Why can't that dog have ham? I'm going to come over here to this region and finish making contact so we can go do the Codex Brain site. This is my overall goal. Although I do like ham, not going to lie. Never mind, we're not going to have time to do any of this. Well, let's take a look at our targets then. So, we have 109 intel, stops major break. Yeah, I don't care about a major breakthrough. The doom clock at this point, we've reached the tipping point, and this seems to be sort of the way every XCOM run kind of works. The doom counter is a thing that's relevant for a little while, but then ultimately you just sort of reach a tipping point where the things that you're doing keep the doom counter so low you don't have to pay attention to it anymore. Hidden event to destroy the alien relay. Well, hidden is hidden. Yeah, I don't care about the detection rate. Yeah, let's not do that then. Looks like here's our winner. Codex Elite, Elite Trooper, Elite Lancer, Andromedon, Archon, Gatekeeper, Elite Shield Bearer, Elite Officer, Heavy Mech. So 11 enemies on this mission. Operation Ice Hand. That sounds... Operation Ice Hand sounds like when you like sit on your own hand for a little while and then masturbate. I know that's actually called the Stranger, but it could be called the Ice Hand too. Let's do this. It gets us 292 supplies, which we don't need, but countering the hidden event seems more useful than countering either of the other two, so let's go for this one.
For Mexico.
And I guess we won't be invading the Codex facility. I had high hopes for it, but the aliens are keeping us on our toes a little bit, keeping us jumping, throwing guerrilla ops at us. So let's see some of those expert strategies and taught tactics, Pete. That's what we're looking for here. We're looking for high-level gameplay, sir. I'm tempted to keep either Terra Moose Juice Reed or Stovepipe Lincoln. Except they aren't... Lincoln, you still aren't max rank? Never mind. I guess we'll have to take Helen Keller, because if you're not max rank, there's no way Helen Keller is either. You guys are making me a little salty. Also, I didn't get to finish my Berserker suit, damn it. I want to see if it's as ridiculous as the Serpent suit. Is it as absurd looking as Ralphie's pajamas? I'm never gonna know. Or did we... We didn't finish that, did we? How did we not? Oh, one day. Okay, well, fine. Back to the old gorilla op, then. I thought we had finished that. Apparently no time passed, and I'm just an idiot. Ah, Jesus. You know, if Keller was max rank, Jesus, I might bring you along. I might. But she's not, so I can't. Let's make items available. Let's make weapons available. Make utility items available. Make armor available. We're just going to make all the things available. Again, it's like me out in the corner in my fishnets be like, hey, baby, Perfidious Pete is available for service. You want some of what Pete's putting down, mama? Don't let these hairy legs fool you. Dynamite comes in small packages, which is not applicable here because I'm not a particularly small package. Dynamite, I suppose, could also come in a large package as well. I mean, you could ship that stuff by the pallet. So, Helen Keller's still wounded. So is Master Chef Well, never mind. I guess we're working with the exact same team we had last time. I was wrong to have spurned you. Moose Juice, I guess you're on the job. And Mel Gibson, you're also on the job. Fantastic work, Pete, making yourself a little extra busy work. Good job. Let's just... Yeah, we're going to do that. Advanced Perception. Moose Juice Reed and her Cocker Spaniel t-shirt looking body. I always make the joke that Tara Reid's breasts look like a cockeyed Cocker Spaniel when she has her shirt off. She looks like a cross-eyed puppy. You don't think so? Yeah, feel free to Google image search Tara Reid shirtless, and I think you'll agree. Weapon upgrade. We took away your gun. I'm sorry, Tara Reid. I've taken everything away from you, including your dignity with the constant cracks about your somewhat botched boob job. You know what? I'm gonna stop, Tara Reid. No more. I'm putting the kibosh on that. I'm gonna give you a moratorium on the boob jokes. No more of that. That's it. I'm done. Venom rounds, Dragonfire rounds. We might be better off to give Tara Reid the Tracer rounds, since her aim is a little lower than old Stovepipe. But it's good enough. Tara Reid has Tane shot and she can hit stuff. I don't feel a need to convention. I do miss Master Chef Busey fairly considerably. Let's give you... Well, you know what? In honor of Master Chef Busey and his bringer of chutney, I will give you his favorite kitchen utensils, and that I'll loan you Gary and our fusion axe. AP rounds, of course, for Uncle Mel. Plasma grenade, nah, we don't really need that, Uncle Mel. We're gonna give you a proximity mine. You don't have volatile mix, which is unfortunate. Jake Busey's volatile mix really makes that proximity mine pop, 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 Ruby Rod style. Was that a Fifth Element joke, Pete? Yeah, it was a Fifth Element joke. It must be green. So let's do this. Speaking of green, let's have this mission be green. I made fun of myself at the opening of this episode, but last mission really did go pretty friggin' smoothly. It was like a fondant on a cake. It was perfectly layered. It's like Buddy Cianci, the cake boss himself, had carefully applied the fondant to our particular brand of pastry. It was smooth and creamy. Also, what's the difference between fondant and icing? I'm genuinely curious. Every time I see that show, they're always using fondant and sticking it to the side of a cake. What is the culinary difference between fondant and icing? Inquiring minds want to know. And I'm doing this, so I'm not going to Google it, but trust me, after the episode, I'm going to go Google it and figure out exactly what fondant is. Alternatively, a polite Jake Busey could just fill me in. He is the master chef. Hey, all right, Pete, if only he were here. If only you hadn't got him slammed into the ground by a flying Archon King there. Perhaps if you're a little better at the game with your strategy and tactics, mate, Jake Busey be here, and he can tell you the difference between icing and fondant. Do you know, Steve? Hey, crikey, Steve Irwin's got better shit to do than be in the kitchen putting icing on cake, mate. Steve Irwin might eat a cake, but that's going to be that's the end of the extent of Steve Irwin's interactions with pastry products, mate. So we got to destroy the relay before the transmission completes. How many turns have we got? We've got 8 turns. All right, we also have concealment and a really fast Mel Gibson, and not that far to go. There are detection tiles up there, though, so we're going to have to be a little careful. All right, drunk Uncle Mel, let's have you take a peek. Be my scout. Be my eyes, Mel Gibson. Be my eyes. We're lucky we didn't stumble into a detection tile. So we have a pod, a bunch of guys, a minimum of cover, and a turret. Intriguing, but probably not ultimately the end of the world. The question is, which way are these guys going to patrol? They're facing in multiple directions, so we really have no solid method of predicting that. Let's bring Uncle Mel over here.
I guess that'll be okay.
Jeez, Mel, settle down, buddy.
We've been spotted.
We should not have been. Well, so much for our concealment then. Well, fantastic. I guess we stepped into a detection tile inadvertently. Yeah, this is real shitty. Good start, Pete. Taught strategy and tactics right there. That's it's coming to the fore. Looking good, buddy. Looking real good. All right. Well, we stepped on our first mine, so that's a thing. We can have Steve Irwin come to here. Steve Irwin, actually, Steve, could you skull mine a dude? What if you could can we just skull mine our way out of a problem? Nope. All right. Well, I mean, it was worth a shot. No skull mining is going to be done on my watch. Damn it. We can't have Tara Moose Juice Reed come up here and bring in a little bit of grenade-oriented damage and at least eliminate some cover. She also has shots. Surprisingly, not terrible shots. I mean, some of those were fairly respectable. They weren't great, but they weren't world-shattering either. If we're going to hit one guy, I would kind of rather hit the Stun Lancer. I don't want to hit the Codex with a grenade because the Codex will simply teleport, which means maybe Steve Irwin and a capacitor discharge is our optimal strategy. Who's going to handle the turret, though? Steve can't do two things, Pete. Maybe we just let it teleport and then have Atlas King stasis the Codex. Well, he can't stasis 2, though, can he? He could stasis the 1, or we could have Atlas King stasis the turret, except he's not going to be able to see it. Can Atlas King move to a location where he can see the Codex? That's what we need to know. Then, can you see it from this tile? You can. All right, we've got a plan then. Atlas King, go forth and save our bacon. When it comes to bacon conservation, Atlas King is a remarkably powerful force for good in the universe. If you have endangered bacon, Atlas King will show up and he will rescue that bacon from said peril. See, watch. There we go. Peril-free bacon. Brought to you by Perfidious P. So our bacon is saved. Tara Moose Juice Reed's going to lob a grenade up here at these Chuckle Hucks. We're going to get some damage. We're going to destroy their cover. They're going to get shot and die. Make with the boom, Tara Reid. I'm a little bummed about having swiftly blown my concealment. Not gonna lie, I should have liked to have conserved it a little bit and had Mel Gibson do some fairly nasty things with the proximity mine, but unfortunately, that's off the table. Steve, you're gonna go... Actually, can you hijack the turret from here, Steve? You can... I mean, you're gonna be able to shut it down for certain. Steve Irwin is not gonna have a problem shutting that turret down. I just want to take a look at his chances here. We probably won't do it this turn. The other problem with this is we have a very strong chance of this activating a subsequent pod. 90% chance to control the turret. Yeah, crikey, Pete, you trust me enough to go for 90%, mate? That's 9 out of 10 times. If we were in college, Pete, that's A-level work. Yeah, sure, it's A-level work, you say that, but I'd like to point out, Steve, it's the minimum A-level work. That's as low as A goes and still is an A in a standard 4.0 system, sir. So sure, it's an A, but it's only technically an A. Yeah, there you go again, Pete, mate. You always giving me... You always gotta give me grief, mate. Why you always breaking me balls, Pete? Speaking of breaking balls, Abraham Lincoln has just broken that man's. Although not as much breaking as we might have liked. He's still alive. Bit of a problem. It's not an insoluble problem, because we do still have the baby maker up here. Yuri, I'm gonna need some solid work out of you, champ. I'm thinking probably a face-off, and then, or probably rather a lightning hands followed by a face-off. We may not even need the face-off. It might just be lightning hands, and then a follow-up shot. Hey, mate, that guy's dead. What do you think, Pete? You doing the wrong voice? Because it sounds like Steve Irwin. What, Steve Irwin's talking his Yuri now? Steve, I'm trying to expand my repertoire, Pete. I'm doing impressions. Well, you should fucking stop, because Yuri Novak sounds exactly like Steve Irwin, Steve. We can recover... Let's do this. Let's go ahead and Shadowfall. We're going to recover our concealment. Yes, Yuri is the stealth baby maker. Look at me. Vanish like a ghost in night. I am like ghost in the snow, Pete. You cannot see me. I'm invisible. 100%. Perfect. Camouflage. I'm like cuttlefish. A cuttlefish reference, Yuri? What is wrong with cuttlefish, Pete? They are fantastic creatures. They have amazing chromatophores that let them mimic and look like the entire surroundings. They are brilliant beasts. Don't mock the cuttlefish, man. You don't know what you're messing with there. Cuttlefish have a very strong lobby. Cuttlefish have powerful friends, Pete. Fuck you, Steve. Hooray! The turret has gone into overdrive. Brilliant. Well, that's what I get for not taking a slam dunk shutdown. I deserve that. And we have now stepped on our second mine. So we stepped on the mine, body got flung through the air, we ducked and covered to tuck ourselves up and try to minimize the damage, and now we have landed face first on top of another mine. There's also a gatekeeper back there that we got a nice little peep at in the distance. Alright, despite its increased aim, it did miss the first time. It will, if it does anything, go on Overwatch or just shoot again. And it's gonna Overwatch. Now we gotta figure out a way to one-shot kill this Codex. Fortunately, not undoable. That thing is on Overwatch. You piece of garbage. Well, you don't have Shadow Step. That's bad. Yuri, can you see the robot? Yeah, not only can you see the robot, you can definitely hit the robot. You can also rapid fire the robot. It's gonna do minimum damage because that guy has a fair amount. It's also gonna blow your concealment, isn't it? Yeah. We might prefer that to not happen. So Atlas King can't stasis again. That's off the menu. We're gonna need cover. We can't advance really until we have done something about that robot. Alright, Steve, you're my robot guy. What can you do with the... Well, I mean, I can't have you go with the Haywire protocol. Now, can I, Steve? But you can eliminate the Overwatch with a combat protocol. Honestly, this does pretty respectable damage as well. Atlas King has our other Mimic Beacon. I think Atlas King may be going Mimic Beacon here. Let's go ahead combat protocol. I don't hate this plan. Hey, crikey, mate. Sorry, Pete. It was my fault. I fucked up, and I don't know what to say. I'm having a bad day, mate. Having a bad day. Sometimes even Steve Irwin has an off day, Pete. I can't be amazing all the time. It's not all wrestling alligators and roping camels from the top of a truck, mate. Sometimes you just You know, gotta take a day to relax. A day for yourself, mate. Uncle Mel. We could have Uncle Mel step back. He can probably shotgun this codex in a single blow. But probably and definitively are not the same thing. We could burn Yuri's concealment and have him definitely kill that robot with a rapid fire. These shots can't miss, right, Yuri? Let's just double check. Never mind, you can only rapid fire the codex. Your shot can't miss, but it's not going to get the job done, so having you burn your concealment is probably suboptimal. We can advance with very little fear for our safety. Do I want to be in the open at the end of this turn? It's sort of the operative question that this is what we've come down to. Do I want to be in the open or not? We got a turret, which I'm not hugely worried about. Tara Reid, how far can you launch that frost bomb? We do have the frost bomb, not really very far. You would have to go quite a bit further forward before you could get that into... And also, robots may be immune to that. In all likelihood, the robot is immune to that. That's troubling. We could... Alright, once again, we're going to rely on Atlas King. I've come to a decision. I've been dithering, dothering, and otherwise sort of wool gathering here, but the wool gathering is over. Is that hitting this guy? I can't tell. It's definitely hitting that guy. Atlas King, you're not catching that robot with that, are you? Nope. Can we do robot? Can we do this guy in turret? No. Are we catching that guy at all? Yes, his tile is clearly lit right there. Clearly lit there. Not lit there. So we can't catch turret and guy. Oh, yes, we can, too, right here. There's your shot. Atlas King brings the hurt. He also managed to destroy all of the cover in this vicinity, which is going to make our subsequent duties much, much easier. All right, Yuri, we could have you come forward and possibly DOS a face-off. Wouldn't be the worst thing of all time. Again, it does blow your concealment, which I'm not a huge fan of. But now that we've opened things up, Tara Moose Juice Reed can probably dig us out of this hole. Tara Reed's got some experience with holes and digging their way out of them. Not the codex. Wow, you can't see anything at all, Tara Moose Juice Reed. That's real bad. How far can you fling this grenade? Not quite far enough. That's somewhat disappointing. Uncle Mel is going to have to deal with this codex, and we're really kind of putting a lot of responsibility here on the shoulders of Uncle Mel Gibson. I'm not going to lie. Also, I don't think we should take Yuri forward. If we do, he's probably not going to be able to see enough stuff to kill it with the face-off. Moose Juice, we have committed you to a situation which may not be fantastic for you in the long run. The turret is down, which is nice, but we're going to have troopers in the open. It seems like we're going to need a mimic beacon here.
That's how it's done.
Except Atlas King and Steve Irwin have already taken their actions, and I'm pretty sure they're the two that are toting our mimic beacons, right? Yeah, that's not great, Pete. Nice work. So it's Uncle Mel Gibson, then, is the only man who's going to get us out of this trouble. He does have the capability of bringing both of these gentlemen down. Couple ways we could do it. We could try it with the proximity mine, which I'm not going to try. So he can see three things. So we whip the axe. The axe has got to be whipped. If you got an axe, you got to throw it. It's just the way it goes. We whip the axe at the elite officer. What? Right in the face. Yeah, you know what? When you dodge an axe and it hits you, doesn't really do you a whole lot of good, does it? I know the codex is still there, Uncle Mel, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Please kill the robot. Beautiful. So Mel Gibson, come forward, scratch 1, scratch 2. That's excellent work from drunk Uncle Mel. Nicely done, son. That leaves Yuri. The stovepipe. It's literally Yuri and the stovepipe are all that's left. Why does Yuri and the stovepipe sound like a buddy cop show a la... What's your hit percent? Not fantastic. But Yuri and the Stovepipe sounds a little bit like the old Teddy and the Bench. Anybody remember the Teddy and the Bench TV show? You guys remember that? It was on Fox. It was a great show, Teddy and the Bench. Fridays, they were cops, Teddy and the Bench. We might be able to dig ourselves out of this hole with a chain shot. Codexes at this point are not remarkably powerful threats. We don't really have a whole lot of trouble one-shotting a codex, as exemplified here by Abraham Stovepipe Lincoln, who, despite that thing's dodge ability, still managed to put it right in the ground. Excellent work, Lincoln, and you have conserved, this was the word I was looking for there. Excellent performance, RP. We have conserved Yuri's concealment, which means we can use Yuri to go forward and scout. We do know there is a gatekeeper in the neighborhood, but the opening for this episode was a little long, and I think I'm gonna just take a nice little pause and wrap this one up. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to you. And I'm still sort of tinkering with the paradigm on the 60 frames per second thing. Crunching file sizes and numbers, upload times are a little bit of a problem. It's not the recording and the quality of the video or the rendering time. My machine's actually pretty powerful, it does all that fairly quickly. It's a bandwidth issue in that my internet service provider, it doesn't have a huge upstream pipe. Downstream is fantastic, but my upstream and the ability to upload these to YouTube in a timely fashion is somewhat constrained, which is why they've been a little shorter lately. But it is, just an explanation about things you probably don't care about. Just, that's it, Pete. Stop talking about this and get done. If you enjoyed it, thanks for watching. Feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support, really helpful. And if you have a comment about the video length, if you prefer longer ones at 30 frames or whatnot, let me know. That's fine. I can't say I'm going to agree with your opinion, but you're welcome to express it. That's what the comment section is for. If you'd like to see more XCOM action, including taut, fantastic political and other commentary, although I don't really talk about politics much, I don't know why that word came out of my mouth. It's all about performance errors today. If you want to see more, subscribe. You know how it works. Right now, I'm done gibbering and jabbering like an idiot. I think I may be having a stroke. I'm going to go investigate that with my physician. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.